Alright, hey everybody. I'm going to do a quick little tip video for everybody on how I do my aged wood using Calligraphy Ink. I'll show a couple of quick examples down here on the layout where I've used this. Then I'll take you up to the bench and show you how I do it. Here are some 6-foot poles that I did and cut the size. Here are some stacks of railroad ties that I did. And the banding on that's real simple to do. Just black electrical tape. Cut the size on with a straight edge. Wrapped around and touch with some CA glue to hold. And here is just some regular old railroad ties. And here's a telephone pole that I did using the aged wood. And here's some more of the old railroad ties that you can use these and just throw around anywhere like you see along the right of ways today of railroad ties that have been taken out of the track and replaced. And here's another example using some wooden dowels with the aged wood effect to make a little post fence. And finally, here's some more bridge walkways I did with the aged wood. And then this is a good example here of before and after. And I started these walkways. They're going to be getting installed in my Clinton, Iowa swing bridge. Alright, I'm going to take you up to the bench and I'll show you how I weather this. Alright, so there's a lot of different products out there on the market today that we can use to simulate wood on our railroads. Just for example, these right here you get at Michael's and any hobby shop. There's 500 of these in here. And it's only a couple bucks, something like that. Once again, these here came from Michael's or any kind of craft shop. These are little dowels. We have larger diameter dowels. And then wood skewers that can be used. This wood's a little tricky. All these different kinds of wood take stain differently, so that's something to keep in mind. You can also even use toothpicks if you want to. Anything made of wood this will work on. Just got to be careful. Like I said, some woods are different and they stain differently, so it kind of depends on what you're looking for. So the first thing is the kind of stain. Well, it's pretty easy. So when I make an aged wood look, there's probably a lot of different ways to do this, but one of the simplest ways I've found is using Calligraphy ink. This is waterproof black ink. They make a non-waterproof black ink. This stuff for me has been working pretty well. Be careful though, because this is ink, so it can stain carpeting or anything. Just want to be careful when you're working with this stuff. And I mix it 50-50 with just straight tap water and come up with a mixture like this. So for example, if I wanted to do railroad ties, some old railroad ties that the railroad decided were not serviceable anymore and they've replaced on the main line or on the sidings, I use these little mini wooden sticks and they look like this. So real simple, I just take an old piece of track and I want to try to get the approximate length. So I just go ahead and make a little mark anywhere, whatever I'm working on of a railroad tie. That gives me a reference. I just take and mark those. Doesn't have to be entirely accurate. This gives me 2 per piece of wood. Just kind of mark those. And then you can, any method you want to cut them, cut those out. And then once you get as many of these cut out as you'd like I showed you down on my layout, you can bundle these all together and make stacks of railroad ties. But the first step, of course, is going to be to stain them. So very easy. You just kind of dip them in the stain. Just kind of put them in the stain. Like so. Take them out. Just put them on a paper towel if you want to. Like so. You let those dry. You want to take most of the excess off, unless you want them extremely dark. But you can see the effect almost instantly of what that's going to look like. So once those are dry, you can use these around the layout. You can make stacks of railroad ties and band them with the black electrical tape, or anything you'd like to do with them. You can even make posts out of these if you wanted to, anything like that. So the other nice thing is you can use these dowels right here and make your own telephone poles. There's a lot of plastic telephone poles that are available on the market today. I use those on my layout here and there, but for the poles that I like right up in the where people can see, I like using real wood. These are kind of smooth, so it's real easy to rough these up a little bit using one of these the Atlas Super Saws. These are made for cutting track, and you just take and rough up the surface of that pole a little bit. Kind of gives it a little more texture. You can see that really roughs it up a little bit, so it's not so smooth. And then once you do that, you just use a paintbrush, and you just put this on full strength. Well, I say full strength, but I mean the 50-50 diluted. And you can let that soak in just like that, or you can wipe it for a little lighter pole. If you're not happy with that, you just add some more. And let that soak in. And depending on the density of the wood, it's going to soak in, different on some wood than others. And that gives you a pole that looks like this when it's dry. And you can use Rick's Products cross arms that you can buy, and that gives you a nice telephone pole wherever you want to put it on the layout. The other thing I've been playing with real quick, I don't want to make this too long, is I'm trying to work on something that looks like pressure treated wood. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I know some telephone poles are pressure treated down at the bottom, so I've been kind of working on trying to get that look. Let me know what you think. This is pretty easy to do. I use this right here. It's acrylic transparent green. So once I have the pole stained, I kind of just go over it with a little bit of this green. Very diluted. And just kind of hit the bottom of the pole. Let that soak in just for a second or two, and then wipe that away. It kind of gives you that green tint on the bottom of the pole. Use maybe just a little bit more. Let that soak in. Then kind of dab that off, and it gives you that green pressure treated look at the bottom of a telephone pole. Or just you want to make a pressure treated lumber load. I think that's pretty close. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you folks think. That's just mixing these together. If it's too green, put a little more black ink on there. If it's too black, put a little more green until you get what you think looks nice. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. Aged wood using Calligraphy Ink. And enjoy. It's real easy. Add it to your layout. Thanks for watching.